Alright guys, Tactical Rabbit here, and I know I'm going to be a little bit late to the party by the time this video comes out, but wow, I just had to talk about this. It's not strictly related to Call of Duty, but it is related to Nadeshot, and Nadeshot for several years pretty much was Call of Duty, definitely the biggest name we've ever had to come out of the scene. What an absolute baller, man. This move that he's made with his new organisation, 100 Thieves, is absolutely crazy, so we have to talk about it today, even if it's a shorter video than I normally would produce. So, like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new, and goddamn. So, I know a lot of you guys, maybe if you've been around the scene a while, you've watched Call of Duty for like 5-6 years, a lot of you will have probably got into the game through Nadeshot and his crazy social media presence that he had back in the past, on Twitch, on YouTube particularly, him and Scump, I guess. I kind of got into Call of Duty through Scump, you could say, his YouTube videos, but Nadeshot was also a big contributing factor back on that old Optic team back in the day. And, you know, he won the COD XP in Modern Warfare 3, won like 100 grand, all of that stuff. There's actually a fantastic article written by Nadeshot himself on the Players Tribune, I think that's how you pronounce it. I made it all the way to the bottom here, but it's a great article basically talking about his life story and who's cutting onions, man? This is such a great piece. I'll link it down in the comments below. So let's actually talk about the news here. So Nadeshot announced today that his organisation 100 Thieves, will talk about more about their evolution as an organisation in a second. They have announced that this guy called Scooter Braun, you guys may have heard of him. If you look at his Wikipedia page right here, he has like 3.7 million followers on Twitter, which is more than Nadeshot. Nadeshot has about 2.4 million. He's an American entrepreneur, talent manager, entertainment executive. I think he's been maybe the manager for like Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, so like big names in the industry. He knows a lot about pop culture and how to influence like relatively young people, like the youth, which is of course pretty much who 100 Thieves is targeted towards as an esports organization with a fashion setting to it. So we'll talk about that in a second. So the other guy who joined as co-owners, this guy called Drake, haven't really heard of him. I had to look him up to make sure I knew who this guy was. Not really that famous, but still a pretty big pickup. Oh, blimey. I actually could not believe what I was seeing when I saw this tweet. Like, this picture is so mad. Like, they just tried not to crack up, I swear. Like, it honestly looks photoshopped. There's no way this is happening, man. Nadeshot is like the golden boy of Call of Duty. He's the success story that everyone wanted to talk about. You know, McDonald's, his awful situation with his mother. He talks about it in that Players Tribune article. And this is the situation nowadays with his 100 Thieves organisation, and it's such a young organisation as well. That's what's so crazy about it. He kind of rushed into things in Black Ops 3 to pick up that team. We'll talk about more about this in a second. But now he's started this 100 Thieves team for real, with proper backing and big investment, and now it's blowing up. You look at this Forbes article here, which was posted yesterday, I believe. These are the world's most valuable esports companies. Cloud9's up top, then you got TSM, Team Liquid. You see all the games that these guys operate in. Echo Fox, Optic, Fnatic, Gen G Esports, G2, Immortals, Envy, and 100 Thieves. $90 million net worth, and it's only been up and running like a year, and they only have investments in like League, Call of Duty, Fortnite, and Clash Royale, and the returns they're potentially going to get from their crazy good Call of Duty team isn't even in the running yet, and they're already on this list of the top 12 most valuable esports companies within just 1 year. Like, where's FaZe Clan here? I'm not seeing it. Like, so Drake and Scooter Braun invest in 100 Thieves. What a crazy story this is. This Forbes article here talks about it, that their Series A funding round. So most of the big stories is about Drake and Scooter Braun, but there's also investments from all these other companies they mention here. Now it has a $25 million in total funding, and it's going to go towards the majority building out the content team, picking up new organizations, and the apparel line, which is the really cool thing about 100 Thieves, why I think they're such a merchandisable brand, I guess. That honestly, this brand is so cool. When you talk about esports, you don't think like lifestyle. The only organization that has attempted to do something like that is FaZe Clan, I think. Like the vlogs, all of this stuff, the merchandise, the FaZe Clan stuff. But the kind of personalities and the lifestyle that is expressed through FaZe doesn't really seem like esports related. But I feel like in order to pivot FaZe towards like a lifestyle setting, they've kind of moved away from esports. Whereas 100 Thieves came out as, we're going to be like a lifestyle brand. If you go on their merch site, So this is the 100 Thieves shop. I cannot buy a single thing. Like, their merch is sick. These products are all sold out. The t-shirts, all of this stuff. Even if you want to get the League of Legends Championship, World Championship jersey for $85, that's already sold out. And they don't even have enough stuff on the site to keep things going. Drake, of course, knows a fair bit about having his own apparel line. He has the October's Very Own range and all that stuff. And Scooter Braun, as I said, knows an awful lot about pop culture, and 100 Thieves as an esports organisation is generally targeting the youth, right? People who are interested in the apparel and the branding being really cool and fashionable, but at the same time interested in gaming and esports and all these other things. And 100 Thieves is such a sick organisation, such a cool concept, and I'm for some reason I'm really proud of Nadeshot. Like, I'm literally a nobody compared to this guy, but for some reason, what he did for Call of Duty, and now he's going on to bigger and better things with his own organisation, is just so cool to see, and I wish him all the success in the world. And it looks like he's absolutely balling, man. And this could be super good for Call of Duty as well, because I want to tie it back to Call of Duty to some extent. The team they have this year is massive. I talked about it in the past, a couple of different videos I did on this topic, so I'll link them down in the description if you're interested. So, their team now, Kenny, Pharaoh, Octane, Slasher, Enable. Kenny, Pharaoh, and Enable from the TK team that did so well at the end of last season. Octane and Slasher, two of the best assault rifles in the game, and guess what? Black Ops 4 has a crazy assault rifle heavy meta right now. You could easily get away with 2 ICRs on the map, and if there's 2 guys you don't want to miss with a rifle, Slasher and Octane are right up there at the top. But let's take it back a little bit, because what I think makes this deal that Nadeshot has struck with Drake, like, I actually cannot believe it. What makes this so cool is where they started out, right? So Nadeshot gets dropped from the Optic team after Advanced Warfare Champs. He says he's going to take a break from competing. He then decides, okay, he's going to start this own organisation, 100 Thieves. He really quickly picks up this team of Aches, Nelson, Remy, and Royalty during the Sage 2 season. So he picked up the King Pappy squad, right, that beat TK at the relegation tournament that Money B had to sub in for Goonjar, because I think Goonjar had visa issues or something like that. So this King Pappy team took him out. 100 Thieves picked this guy up, and it was tragic. I'm pretty sure they didn't win a single map, or at least didn't win a single series at this Anaheim tournament. And then in Stage 2, they had like the worst record in the league, or almost the worst. Just an absolute travesty. So Nadeshot, he takes a step back. He realizes this is a mistake. Too much too soon, right? And people were calling him out. People were saying he's an idiot. You know, he's left Optic, 100 Ls. All this stuff started to come into play. Nadeshot, he takes a step back, he, a little bit less of the content side, more in the business side, builds some relationships behind the scenes, and now he's back in the game last year with this 100 Thieves organisation, picks up that League of Legends team that they didn't do so well at the World Championships, but they're already one of the most well-known teams in League of Legends, and that's only been a few months since these guys got picked up. He did a really good job. I think at their first tournament, or first or second event, they come second on like the world stage. So, hit the nail on the head with that team, and they're a really good squad. He's picked up some Fortnite guys, some Clash Royale guys, it seems, according to this list at least, where it says 100 Thieves is operating in these esports for now. They also did try and pick up the Old Immortals CSGO team for the major, like those Brazilian guys, Lucas, Henny. I don't know if you heard too much about this, but that's an interesting story. That didn't go so well to plan, so it didn't look like 100 Thieves was working out as planned, and snap of the fingers, and it's all coming together as planned. The merch is super cool, such a fashionable organisation, and even though their Call of Duty team might not necessarily be the most liked, the branding and everything associated with it is super sick, man. And Drake will bring in so many eyes. Like, imagine Drake turns up somewhere rocking a 100 Thieves jersey. Imagine he even goes along to like a League of Legends event or a Call of Duty event or something like that. And one of the things I think this could really mean for Call of Duty as well is that esports as a whole isn't crazy fashionable among like the younger generation. Like, some things are pretty cool, but it's not like crazy fashionable. Like, the merchandise is more fashionable than the games they're playing right now. That's what I'd say. But it's about bringing those people into the gaming industry that could see 100 Thieves have some great success. And Call of Duty is a great example of a game that can do that. Because a lot of people are talking about Call of Duty right now. A lot of my friends at uni, like, they're just casual fans of the game. But because Call of Duty has this casual side of it, this is maybe where you see that having the really casual side and the hardcore competitive side can actually be a good thing of the game, because the general image of Call of Duty, especially this year when they're bringing out the Battle Royale, most people seem to like Black Ops 4 on the whole. Maybe the competitive community is a little bit different, but on the whole, Black Ops 4 has really good reviews. It's pretty cool, if I can use that term, to like Call of Duty and be involved with Call of Duty. And if something like 100 Thieves, a cool brand, sponsored by Drake, a baller, has a Call of Duty team, they might be inclined to tune in and see what's going on here. So this could honestly be huge for COD. Of course, Nadeshot, one of the pioneers of the scene, could be doing another big deal to get Call of Duty right back up there in terms of interest. And the team he's picked up as well is super good, and also with the Octane Optics situation has the potential to spark a really big rivalry with those guys. Gonna be crazy viewers, I think, for Black Ops 4 this season. It might not be the best game, but honestly, the storylines and the rivalries and the overall eyes that are going to be on Call of Duty this year due to the blackout situation could be really good for the scene. So I'm very hopeful, of course. I'm not sure it's exactly going to go as planned. Maybe Nadeshot focuses more on, CSGO and I guess the more profitable esports, you could say. But 100 Thieves and Drake working together, they could probably quit the esports stuff and just run 100 Thieves on a merchandise basis alone with their experience and how cool the merch is right now. So like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this in the comments section below. How important do you think this is going to be for Call of Duty? Because it's a crazy bit of news. And I wasn't seeing this coming at all. I thought maybe Drake, he played Fortnite with Ninja earlier in the year. He has some interest in esports. I didn't think 100 Thieves is the direction he's going to go, and it just shows how well Nadeshot's done here to build a brand that's not only attractive, but 100 Thieves already, as I say, breaching the top 12 most valuable esports organizations pretty much within its first year of operation. These guys are skyrocketing to the top, and I couldn't be happier considering their founder comes from a Call of Duty background. I can't see anything but good coming from this. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.